Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same. Our newly acquired center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier, where are our reasonable expectations on what we can see out of him in 2023? And again, if you're watching this right now, by the way, feel free to drop a comment where you feel you would be happy with Kevin Kiermaier's performance. Honestly, in my opinion, if Kevin Kiermaier can stay somewhat healthy, and when I say somewhat healthy, give me 125 to 135 games out of him, I think he's going to be a major contributor to this team. He tends to be forgotten in the additions that were made over the offseason, again, because of that Varsho trade, right? I mean, we watched fan favorites Lourdes and Moreno, the top prospect in the Jays system, head out for this dude. So all of the attention is on Varsho, which may actually help Kiermaier, who is going to be slotted into that number 9 hole in the batting order. So he's going to see fastballs. You got George Springer, the best leadoff man in baseball, and has been for almost a decade. And it's not even arguable. Just look at his numbers. So that's going to add some protection to him. Kevin Kiermaier is also a leader on the field. And I know I read an article by friend of the show, Ben Nicholson-Smith, a few weeks ago, where he was talking about how Kevin Kiermaier is a little bit different in the outfield than almost every other fielder out there, in that he has his own system for how you call balls and you catch balls. So basically, he does it the opposite way. And he's talked to George Springer about this. He's talked to Varsho about this. They are on board. So the difference is when there is a ball in the air, headed in the outfield, and it's up for grabs as to who it's going to be, he yells out, you got it, right? Not mine. So it's a little bit backwards and it's a little bit weird, but Kiermaier says he's done this since college. It works really well for him. We know what a stud he is out there.
So the implication of that is we're every ball in play, we're starting with the understanding that it is Kevin Kiermaier's unless you hear otherwise.
More or less.
I don't know if I love it or hate it, to be honest.
I'm indifferent of it. We'll see how it works. It is interesting, though. It's baseball for 100 and some years is like, you call it. He's like, I call it if you catch it.
Just assume it's mine, but if I don't think I can get to it, then it's yours.
I guess the reasoning behind it, he says, is that way every guy in the outfield, when it's hit, first off, they're running for it, right? So they're, no matter what's going on, they're going for it. And then they're feeling, like, let's say Varsho is just, it's in that no man's land in left and center there. He's going hard until he hears Kiermaier, and if he hears him going then he knows that gives Kiermaier a chance to play behind him too. I mean, you read the article and it does make sense, but also it's a weird twist. I don't know. Again, I don't really care what they do out there as long as they're defensively sound, and I have no doubt that this outfield's going to be
defensive sound. Yeah, I mean, the way you just described it, though, as like Kiermaier, Varsho's going for it until he hears confirmation that it's his, and then he just continues. Like, it is a weird, and this is where I don't like it. I like it from like I like guys who want to be the man, want to make the play. And that's why I never had any issue with the Bo Bichette, George Springer collision last year. And we don't spend any time talking about that. But I want stars in my lineup who want to be stars. I don't want them afraid of the ball, right? I want them 9th inning, 2 outs, World Series on the line. I want guys saying, I hope this ball is hit to me because I want to be the guy that makes that play. Not, I hope that's hit to George because then I don't have to worry about making an error, right?
Yeah.
So I like it from that standpoint. I like that Kevin Kiermaier mentality. But it is kind of dumb that, like, we're both going to go hard for it, and then Kiermaier yells, "You got it," and now you're just that you're gonna keep going for it as opposed to like is Varsho running half speed and then he hears Kiermaier go, "Yours," and he goes, "I better
I
pick
mean,
up the pace."
it
That's
it
where it's
it,
kind of
it goes
dumb.
both ways too, right? So if Varsho is running for it and he doesn't feel he's got a chance, he's yelling yours, yours, yours too, right? It's not just Kiermaier telling everyone what balls are whose,
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't
but
know. It's
maybe it
weird. I
should
don't know.
be.
Look, it's quirky. It's going to be entertaining baseball, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm paying for, right? 95 plus wins of entertaining baseball. We're going to get that this year. You speak about the injuries for Kevin Kiermaier. 10 years in Major League Baseball. First season was one game, so we won't count that. 2020 was an albatross as well because of the 60 game schedule. So let's say it's an 8 season career. He has played 120 games or more 3 times.
Okay.
122, 129, 151. He also has season totals of 108, 105, 98, and 88 before playing
A-
63 last year. So it's kind of a mixed
And
bag. I don't know what to expect here, to be honest.
this is where honestly, give me 120 games out of Kiermaier. I'm all for it. We've
Yeah.
got very good coverage at center field. So if Kiermaier needs to take a night off, his knee is hurting, whatever it is,
Ooh,
Varsho is going to slide in there beautifully.
ooh, ooh,
George
ooh. I
Springer
just
played center field. Sorry, go ahead.
I just had an idea. I want to get this up before I forget. I'm on baseballreference.com as my go-to stat lookup. I know some people are fan graphs, whatever. Baseball Reference is my jam. On the very far right column of someone's statistical graph chart, whatever, is their awards. So if I look at 2015, Kiermaier was 17th in MVP votes and won a Gold Glove. 2016, Gold Glove. 2019, won a Gold Glove. Here's my Christmas wish list for Baseball Reference is that you add a one other column and it's their injury history for that season.
Yes.
Give me a breakdown of knee injury,
Games. Yeah.
lost 30 games, wrist in, broken thumb, missed 3 months. Give me that. That's what I want. Baseball Reference. If anybody's listening, get on it.
I love that, dude, because it is so frustrating to look back over and be like, oh, okay, he played 128 games, but now what was his injury? Now I need to start
Well,
Googling
that's the thing.
2016 Kevin Kiermaier, like,
That's the thing, right? Is like, did they miss time because they got sent down to the minors for performance issues? Did they miss
mhm.
time because they were just on the bench and didn't get into the game? Was it a part-time role? Because you could be a guy who was a healthy 108 games if you're the fourth outfielder, right? And then that's a whole different discussion if we're just doing a quick glance at his history and you go, oh, he only played 108 games this year. Must have been injured a lot. But it's like, no, that was
Mhm.
just Raymel Tapia, and he played plenty, totally healthy all season long. Just that was his role. So, anyways, websites, if you're listening, add another column for bad taco history.
I'm excited for Kiermaier, buddy.
Me
I
too.
think he's going to, I honestly do think he's going to be a bigger contributor to this team than maybe a lot of people foresaw. We watched him hit that triple against the Yankees on Saturday, and man, can the dude motor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that was a double for almost everyone on this team, and he was into third, no problem. And that's what we're going to see out of him is some really savvy base running. We're going to watch him go first to third. We're going to watch him on doubles go first to home. We'll watch him try and take that extra 90 feet, which is something that the Blue Jays haven't really excelled at over the last few years, was just good choices on the base path. Yeah, they were trying to, but there was a lot of unnecessary outs, and it's going to be really great to have a leader in that clubhouse who knows how to do it the right way and can give advice, and on top of that, just lead by example.
Yeah, I think Kevin Kiermaier in for a good season. 120 games of Kiermaier, I'd be thrilled. 140 games of George Springer, I'd be thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it happen.
Varsho better play 160.
There you go.